Hello, in this screencast I am going to talk about how I currently use technology to increase and enhance student instruction. I'm currently the principal at an alternative ed high school. We have about 19 students and 2.5 teachers. One way, as you can see on the screen here, is I send out a a weekly bulletin every week. It has some announcements, and then there's always a tech sharing part. So, for example, this bulletin that you're seeing now, what I did is I wanted to introduce my teachers to QR codes. And the way that I always used them when I taught is I had students make book recommendations and do book talks on a book, record them with a device, and then turn it into a QR code. And then what we would do in my classroom is we would post those QR codes, tape them to the back of our library books. And that way, if a student was thinking, I don't know if I'm going to like this book, what's it really about? Would any other kid recommend it? They can scan the QR code with their device, and one of their students would be giving them a recommendation or a review of the book. So that's exactly what I did here. I walked my teachers through how to make a QR code, and if you were to click right here on this QR code that I have made, you would see me reviewing, I think it's the Da Vinci Code is what I did. So that's one way. Every week I introduce a new tech tool. Sometimes it's something simple like Channel One News. It could be different lesson planning like a planbook.com. It could be QR codes, any of those kind of things. What's kind of neat about my position is I'm a half-time administrator, half-time information systems specialist for the district, in addition to the district improvement chair. So I get a lot of the data stuff, I get a lot of the technology stuff kind of inherently in this job. I also am one of the technology leaders of the district. 3 years ago I was the first one to pilot one-to-one iPads and devices right before we went to become a bring your own device district. So definitely a strength of mine, something I enjoy is technology, and I try and pass that on to my teachers. Additionally, we also have social media sites. This is our Twitter page that I update about once a week or so you can kind of see some of the things that we post there. I also post pictures of the students when we take field trips and go different places on our Facebook page as well. You'll see a lot of the same things on the Twitter page and Facebook page, but here you can see an example of our students right around Christmas time when we toured the nursing home and brought them frosted cookies and things like that. So definitely a great way for us to keep in contact with parents. I did want to mention too, when I send out my weekly bulletin, I always include a line to teachers that if you are interested in this week's tech sharing, I would be more than happy to sit with you and work and get it set up for you. I think oftentimes, we give ideas out, but then we don't actually help with the implementation. So instead of falling victim to that, the hardest thing many times when you're teaching is finding the time to set up a new tool. And while some of these tech tools will make life easier for teachers, and sometimes, most of the time, I should say, students, it can be a lot of work, a lot of front loading at the beginning to get it set up, to get student email addresses imported, to get everybody an account set up and ready. So because half of my job is information systems specialist, I feel like I can justify the time being spent there. And I meet with my teachers after the bulletin goes out, and I let them know that if they need help getting that set up, I'm happy to do that. Another thing that we're currently investigating for next year is Glogster. We may be purchasing a site license for that. I've noticed that many of my teachers have been doing projects, poster boards, things like that, flyers, those kind of things. So I want to find a way to make that interactive. And since we've just got a grant for even more laptops, I think it's important that we utilize the resources that we have. So Glogster is another one that I've had experience with in the past. I've presented at McCall several times on different tools. Glogster was one of those. So definitely something that I'm looking into and continue to share with my staff. So thank you for listening.